Hey guys, kinggath here with another patch for Sim Settlements. This is patch 4.1.7, which I'm calling the Commander's Toolkit. And if you pop open your either MCM menu or your holotape, you will find out very quickly why that patch is named that way, and that's because I have added some new tools to help you guys manage your soldiers. And this is in addition to tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of bug fixes. If you go check out the full patch notes, you'll see I have been very, very busy with taking out bugs. It's one of the longest sets of patch notes we've ever had, so likely any issues you guys have been experiencing were probably touched. Now, obviously, there are never enough bugs available once the software gets to this scope, so, you know, I'm sure we'll have more patches just like that, but if I can find my city manager holotape, I can show you guys what it's. I really hate the inventory mods I have. I need to get those fixed. But anyway, if we pop open the city manager and you go down to tools, you'll see that this menu has been reorganized a bit. So it used to have just a ton of tools. It was a real mess. So I now have moved most of them under a submenu called settlement tools. So now those of you who have had trouble finding where you mess with the build limit, that's moved under configuration tools. That's where it's always been, but it's always been hard to see because there used to be a clutter of tools. So now settlement tools instead has most of the tools you're used to here, and you'll see that now I've broken tracking into settlement and soldiers. So if you go to tracking soldiers, and keep in mind you can access through MCM as well, so you don't have to dig through your inventory and find the holotape if you are on PC with MCM. And you can search by role or rank. So for example, we could search up all the warriors or all the guards. We can also search up by rank. So if we want just our special units or our recruits or our higher rank, it is just listed by the number, rank number, because all of the different faction packs could have different names. And setting up a Pip-Boy to dynamically change the text is not currently plausible. It would be possible with the terminal, but I didn't want to have to set up two different versions of this, which would have just been a lot of extra effort for minimal gain. So I think you guys have probably, any of you who have been playing with faction packs long enough should probably recognize the different ranks you might be looking for. Now, I will warn you, the tracking on the ranks can be iffy. It will definitely work for your local soldiers, so anybody who's in the settlement that you're standing in, but may or may not work on the ones outside. Whereas the search by role is pretty accurate even to other settlements. So with search by role, you can actually find out where all your warriors are spread through all of your settlements, etc. Now, there's another thing you need to know about this tracking, in that it does put all of those NPCs into memory, and you don't want to keep it running all the time because it will add a lot of load to your system. So if you're on a high-end system, you've got a ton of memory, it's not as big a deal. But if you're on something like Xbox or a lower NPC, you're going to want to, after you're done using the tracking, to do whatever you needed to do. So if you needed to track down certain guards and reassign them or something like that, after you're finished, come back in here and hit clear all, and that will clear the tracking off so that they're no longer in memory. So I'm going to show you guys what that looks like. I have my warriors all tracked right now, and you can see here they're all marked with markers, and it happens in all of my different settlements. And so I can figure out where all of my troops are stationed at throughout my different places. And you can see one of them is marked right over here. So yeah, you can see that that's a warrior right there. So they're all marked, and if I go in and push clear on, I'll show you guys that this stuff is also available in MCM. So we go to MCM, we go down to tracking. It's Conqueror tracking is what it's called in MCM. And we have a clear tracked soldiers button. There's no feedback when you push it because MCM doesn't have any responsive button things as far as I can tell. But as soon as you exit out, you can see the marker went off of that one's head over there. And if we go back to our map, you'll see it's not marked. And if we were to go to our quests here, that quest is now gone. The soldier tracking will show up once you have that enabled. So that's one of the tools. And then the other one, which I think is even more useful, this one only works in the local settlement you're standing in. So this is only for each of those settlements. It doesn't grab all your soldiers. But basically, I took the town meeting gavel. So you guys have seen this. This is craftable at the city planner's desk or at the chemistry workbench under utility. And when you activate this, these are the options you get. And the gather around now, if you're standing inside of an outpost or a vassal controlled by a conqueror faction pack, this will then give you a secondary option where you can have everybody gather you, which is the normal functionality. Or again, just like the tracking, you can grab a specific role or a specific rank. So if we go ahead and do specific role and we grab our warriors, it will fade away. And when we come out of it, you should see that you are then surrounded by all of your guys that have the warrior class. And so I can see all of these are warriors, so if I needed to reassign some of them to patrols or something, and you could do this with any of the different. So I had done it earlier with guards, and so one of them is still hanging out here. In fact, I think there's another one right here. But yeah, you can grab any of the roles or ranks that you want and have them gather around you and do whatever you want to handle all your soldier management. And they'll follow you around for about 1.5 minutes. They will also acknowledge, and I'm going to go ahead and show you the setting. They will acknowledge the follow setting. So there's a setting for when you use the town meeting gavel. I believe it's under usability out here. So town meeting style is should they stay put. It's in MCM. It shows it as on or off, which is on is follow, and off means that they will just all gather around whatever the spot was when you activated the gavel. In the holotape, this is instead called follow, or we'll just go ahead and check it. Let's just go ahead and show it to you guys. But I believe that it's called follow and stand still, something along those lines. And of course, we get to dig in and deal with this wonderful inventory. Here we go. Oops, wrong button. Going down to tools. And, we know it's not under tools. Here we go. Very organized today. Gameplay options, usability, and town meeting is stay or follow. So follow is on in MCM, and stay is off, and then in the holotape it's follow and stay. So if you have it on stay, then it's wherever you activate the gavel, they will all just gather around that point and stay there for about 1.5 minutes. If you have it on follow, they will instead, like I had it when I started this, I don't know if it changes midway through. Yeah, I think then they're going to just follow me now for about 1.5 minutes, and then I can either wander around, I can go into workshop mode and they'll keep following me, and I can reassign them to plots directly, or just get access to their menu. Now, speaking of their menu, one of the things that I had done this week, and then somebody happened to beat me to it, was I had created a patch for quick trade and get out of the way, so that you guys could still access these soldier menus with those mods installed. But Timmy the Quiet created some patches and released those, and I'll have these linked down below. And those will allow you to use quick trade or get out of my way along with Conqueror. And basically what it does is you just crouch to get access to the warrior option or the guard option or whatever the secondary option for soldiers is. Whereas if you're standing, you will get either quick trade or move out of my way, depending on how close you're standing. So that should be really helpful. And that I don't know if that patch works for quick trade redux or not, if anybody wants to confirm that. When I built my patch, it looked like it wouldn't have mattered. A quick trade patch would have worked for either without needing any special version control on it, because they're based off of the same file, and so the perks that you mess with are the same ID. Okay, so those are the tools you guys have access to. Lots of bug fixes. Definitely go update. Let's see, we've got updates to quite a few things today. Let me find my full list. So we've got updates to Sim Settlements in 3.1, obviously. Update to Conqueror. And then we also have an update that I did to the Mega Pack, and this is literally just some bug fixing, just cleanup work. There's still some issues in Mega Pack. I know some of you guys have actually reported this week about some texture issues and some missing beds, and I've let the individual authors know so they can fix their mods, so that way you guys can just update their add-on packs to get it, because the Mega Packs themselves tend to only fix real dire issues, and so one of those was some dirty edits. So I cleaned up some dirty edits in Mega Pack Year 2. And then the Project Blueprint mod, so the City Planners Toolkit, if you go grab that, Whisper was busy again and hooked us up with a bunch of more snap points and things like, and some other things like that. Little extra work to clean that up, and he's also given me some new stuff to put in, which I'll try and get into one of the next couple of patches. But go check all those things out for updates. And all that said, guys, take care and enjoy the mods.